Hello everybody and welcome to Red Dead Online. Last time I played this on PC was November. It's been a while. However, due to a upset on the PlayStation 4 side, at least a little bit, I'm just coming on here to check on a couple of things. Won't be too long, but, well, you know, might as well earn that little bit of gold, little bit of cash, and actually enjoy myself in the Wild West for a little while. Even if it is only for about 20 minutes to half an hour or so. But hey, you know, it's been a while since I've last been in this world. Let's just give it a spin, see what I can do with it, and enjoy. I think the main goal for today is just to see what I can do, really, in such a short space of time. Ooh, boy, that's bright. Okay. Well, I'm in Tumbleweed. That's not what I wanted to look at all, thank you. Now it's going to take me to the benefit screen, because, fucking God, fine, I'll do it the long way, Jesus. Shortcuts are shortcuts for a reason, don't... Huh.
There's something peaceful about this backcountry. That is, till it starts raining lead.
Have yourself a lovely day, miss. Good morning to you.
I wonder if the bug's present here as well. Yep. Venison is valueless.
Ain't much to that.
Just like my wallet is apparently valueless.
All right. Okay, fine.
So you did good with that thing.
Yeah, what's next? Alright.
Good. Okay. In particular, I got another convoy needs protecting. These are decent people wanting to travel. But if they head out alone into this wilderness, the monsters and degenerates will come out to play. I will not let that happen. Keep them safe for me. Should be along shortly. Good luck out there.
Alright. Well, I have enough bullets to keep going.
Travel his own road.
Alright then, Mr. Overexcitable. You've just left town. Get over yourself.
Is nice enough, but I'm already itching to make tracks.
Oh, he has a Schofield. Means his damage output's probably going to be decent. If it's even needed at all. Because looking out here, I don't think it's going to be.
Days now. Could use me a break.
This guy's a weirdo. Has anyone ever said that about him before, I wonder?
Put you down.
Not gonna shake a stick at 5 Jedi XP for that one shot. Although aiming on a mouse would be so much easier, wouldn't it? I'm guessing it's what, right click to aim? Yeah. Let's try aiming on a mouse. See how this goes. Honestly, not the worst.
Damn idiot!
How do you reload though?
That was too
Huh?
close for comfort.
Huh. Proof that I play this game on a controller all the time because it's just better. But aiming with a mouse in this actually feels alright. My accuracy and my aim is shaky and horrible, but it would help if my mouse wasn't being constantly tugged to one side and I had a bit more of an open space with which to use it. Because right now, if I spread my pinky finger and my thumb, I am touching both my keyboard and my PlayStation 4 quite comfortably without stretching. So, back to the controller we go for now, because my mouse movement isn't the smoothest thing in the world, and, well, it doesn't help with people's apparent lack of... I don't quite know. It's a lack of something. Because I know that I have had a few comments in the past, like, oh hey, your aim's so twitchy and blah 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 blah, your movement's not smooth, it needs to be smoother. You suck, you can't do smooth movement. Yeah, I can't. It's down to a dyspraxic nervous system. Thanks for noticing. Please stop bitching about it, because there's nothing I can do about it. Thanks. I'm not all too fussed, because I know it's a shortfall, but seriously, the amount of people complain about it and just say like, oh, you're a shit human being, you can't do it. Like, yeah, okay, fine. So I'll just send about a 300 volt current through your nervous system, and then we'll see how your nervous system copes with fine-tuning movement and making it fine, smooth, and perfect. Yeah? Because my nervous system basically operates as if it's had a constant electric shock. Give me the reins, idiot.
Well, okay then. Why, thank you. Thanks kindly.
Right. The US military gets its supplies. And then they all despawn. Ouch. Eh, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Thing's big enough to take it. Surprised I actually have the advanced camera. Alright, well, let's get a move on. I've got things to do. Gold to earn and all that. At my current rank, I can't afford to avoid killing animals and whatnot to gain XP. Then again, Any form of XP gain, fast or slow, generally tends to give you a lot of a boon. Because it's all just in, well, you know, like every XP gain you make is a permanent improvement on your rank that is once lower than it is now. As is evident when you kill deer, because 10 XP per kill plus 10 XP per skin sharp adds up when you're gutting a lot of them. Not that this was remotely worth the cash, but, well, cash isn't what I'm going for here. Now, just while I'm going here, there's a couple of things I want to address in today's little episode of Red Dead Online. Because this one, weirdly enough, will actually get published. And I'm going to probably dip it into, you know, the archive, because that's, for me, it's just all of my play of Red Dead Online is constantly recorded, every single second of it, because, well, I wanted to make it into a series at one point, and then I thought, you know what, I'll just keep PlayStation for that stuff, and I'll play PC because I want to play PC. Hence, the reason I haven't played since November. However, well, I do still want to enjoy the PC version, and generally the best way for me to do that is to not really worry about having to upload it and just enjoying the game, but I still record it anyway, and go through the whole editing process and everything else. Then again, my editing process is not complex, spoiler, it's just cutting off the beginning and end, because like I said, it's every second, I just cut off the dead ends, and that's it. Kind of like maintaining your hair, you just cut the split ends and then, you know, you let it grow, or at least some people do. And that's how I've treated it over the past 2 years. But, that aside, well, I'll be uploading this as a separate little video, just to run through the hashtag Save Red Dead Online. So, basically, from what I can tell, for Save Red Dead Online, or the hashtag Save Red Dead Online, people are querying what Rockstar are doing with the game, why they're not doing anything with the game, what they have planned for the future, if anything, and they're generally wanting to know, well, has Rockstar given up on Red Dead Online? Now, my answer to that is no, they haven't. Why would they? It still makes them money, it's still a game that is playable, it's still a game that's serviceable, and it's a much-loved IP that everyone is crying out, I mean absolutely crying out, for a sequel to in the future. Now, with Rockstar's track record and reputation with sequels not being great over the past decade, let's just go ahead and recount? Is it recount? I don't know. Either way, let's just go over and sort of recap the past 3 console generations, shall we? Yeah? Because PC is not something Rockstar really cares about, so I shall focus on what they do, and that is consoles. So, we have the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 era. Now, for this, we have, of course, GTA 4. Not counting re-releases, because, you know, re-releases, shmee-releases. And then we have GTA 5. Moving on to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, we have GTA 5 and Red Dead 2. I actually missed off Red Dead 1 from the Xbox 360 and the PS3. Goes to show how much I was paying attention to Rockstar's overall release schedule back then, in comparison to now, where we have a resounding nothing exclusive to the PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or S. It is just Grand Theft Auto 5 version 3 and Red Dead 2. Again. That's it. Also, in the meantime of all this happening, let me just sort of go over, you know, a brief history of Rockstar Games. Leslie Benzies, director of GTA Vice City, well, most well known for his work on GTA Vice City, has left to create his own studio and is now working on a game to take on Grand Theft Auto. be honest, probably will be a greater success than GTA 6 because it's the original GTA creators. Secondly, both of the Hauser brothers have now left the Rockstar studio. And that's the creator and head writer of GTA as a whole. Gone. And, what are Rockstar going to replace them with? The series originals can't be replaced easily, and whatever you replace them with isn't going to be what your players have come to like. So your flavour of the month is sharp going to turn into a flavour of ass, isn't it, really? There's a lot of problems with Rockstar at the moment, and I don't think there's anything they can do about them. And this is why, I believe, they haven't actually shown this game any love and tried to focus on a flagship that'll bring them in enough money, because I think Rockstar as a studio, Take-Two, counts as pretty much done. Have we heard much about Project Medieval? I was going to say Resident Evil there, what the hell? Brain went miles away. But yeah, Project Medieval, the upcoming medieval variant of Rockstar-style games, which was going to be set in Europe, obviously. And it was going to be set on like borders between sort of 3 or 4 warring countries. Have we heard much about that recently? Can't say that I have. At least not high enough profile that it's kind of openly talked about. You have to go looking for it to find out much about it, which with Rockstar games you don't normally have to. Other than that, it's pretty much dead. GTA 5 still gets its bloody... what? I was going to say watered down content, but no. Drip-fed content. And Red Dead Online gets nothing. And I believe that Take-Two not seeing a future for Rockstar in the massive long term, over the next 3 to 4 years in fact, contributes to that quite heavily. Now, in terms of what Rockstar can do to counteract that, well, count your chickens before they hatch. Feel free to leave a comment below if you can think of anything, but really, given the problems that they face, I don't see anything direct they can sort. There's nothing that stands out as an easy option or something they can do. They can just continue to keep bringing in these mediocre DLCs like the Blood Money Crimes, which, yes, did give this game a new lease on life for a bit, and vastly tilted the player base to becoming outlaws, but how many people have really stuck with it? How many people actively engage with that on a regular basis? It's just become another one of those humdrum activities that most of us do. There's not much else to it. So, with this whole hashtag Save Red Dead Online thing, yes, fair enough, they're starting to get really angry and people are wanting Rockstar to save the game by doing things and adding more to the game and actually doing stuff with it. But it's a very small percentile that's actually telling them what they should do. Now, for me, an obvious choice would be, aside from like the mods and stuff they've added, adding in a piece of storyline for not only the Land of Opportunity and finishing that storyline, which I know they said they're pretty much never going to because, you know, the person who was writing it left. But yeah, it's, you know, it still needs a conclusion.
Welcome back, man.
Or at least the next stages in it. But I think the next stages should also feed into another part of content. Another avenue. Another more diversely thought out
Like every other fella
kind
tries
of
to sell
plan.
one of these.
Which for me, quite obviously spells out one thing and one thing alone.
You have a good day.
And that, of course, is working with the Indians, the Native Americans. However you want to call them, based on what the factual time period would have told you. I'm gonna knock your teeth out. That was self-defense, nobody better say otherwise. Now. Yeah, working with the natives. With the Wapiti Indian Reserve. Because there is one key piece that is neglected in Red Dead Online. Say, oh, bounty hunter. Positive honor for bringing them in alive, negative honor for bringing them in dead. I don't get why that is. As long as justice is done, you've done a good deed, haven't you? It's just an arbitrary piece of shit way to shoehorn in their morality system. Blood money crimes most often being the case they bring you negative honor. Good, they should. They're crimes. That makes sense. But why does bounty hunting bring it in for that? Sure, if you kill someone when you ideally couldn't do anything else, no one's going to give a shit. If you kill someone when you could have not, that's when people should care. Now, for me, bounty hunting missed the mark with the morality and how it should have worked. Quite badly. And I don't think they're ever going to redeem that. But working with the natives, you could balance it. Because you have Rains Fall,
Hey there.
and of course, Eagle Flies. The more aggressive, younger generation that very, very, very vehemently seek to fight back aggressively. Something that was explored quite heavily in the single player.
I know there are bandits on that road. If you can drive it there, there's good money in it. Okay, I'll show you.
Sorry, had to refresh my my throat because I'm not feeling 100% today. However, yeah, you have Rains Fall, a diplomat, someone who wishes to see peaceful coexistence and knows that it may potentially be possible given the right circumstances, and will stop at nothing to try and pursue that goal. And then Eagle Flies, who sees that as a futile piece of crap, then, you know, preferring violence over peace because they've seen it tried and fail. Not to mention the fact that it could lead to some rather interesting new weapon additions, it could lead to some rather interesting new clothing additions, a new role addition potentially as well, and a story that could deeply change based on morality. Keep in mind this is early days before Dutch gets involved. So you could do quite a lot with it. It would be what led them to have to relocate at the beginning of the game when Dutch's gang come down. That could be the ending. You never know. There are options. It's just finding them, how to weave them in. That's a challenge I don't think Rockstar are up to. Not currently. But I think they could do it. Give enough time, care and resources. Whether or not they will is another matter. Failing that, we could just add in a couple more basic roles. There are at least 4 that I can think of. Which would be Bandit, which adds the option to, you know, hold up and rob folks just out of the blue. Whenever you feel like it. Pretty much like the single player where you can just, you know... I fucking knew you would do that. Idiot. At any rate, where was I before I accidentally killed somebody? Yeah. Just being able to go up to someone, grab them with a gun out, and then rob them. Without saying a word, just rob them. You don't need to have speech banks in there for that to be a feature that can be used. I maintain, and I have done since day one of this game being out online, that should have been a part of the base game's online variant, because it should have been something you can do even without saying a word. If you grab someone without a gun in your hand, you can just rub your fingers together for the sign to indicate money. You could also just not do that and do something a little bit different as well. Ow. Starting to get a little bit worried about being killed there. But yeah, you should have been able to do it. Grab someone with your bare hands, just rub your fingers together like where's the money. Or if you grab them with a gun, just, you know, wave it upwards a little bit to indicate give me stuff. Come on. Hand it over. There are animations they could have used. They could have played on. Could have made work. But they didn't. So Bandit, or, you know, Outlaw, would be a good role to add in, with a few little features like that. Of course, it would need a bit more fleshing out, and I think Blood Money would tie into it quite heavily.
Some work just came
So
in.
I don't think
Might
it's
be
going to
some
be something that
capital.
comes up. However,
Go on then.
aside from that, we also have a couple of others. Again, another role I think that could be fleshed out quite nicely. Rancher,
Well, that's just fine,
because you
I've
can either
got
do it
something you would like.
legitimately, by
Being
just
the
doing
angel
day-to-day
of
tasks,
vengeance.
patrolling the
Look,
ranch,
It's a filthy
A,
job,
B,
but
and
someone
C
has
to
do
be a
it.
good
These
rancher
bastards
and make
need
good
killing,
money
they
off
do.
a ranch.
For the killing, you need
Or
professionals.
alternatively,
So I thought of you as
you
being well
cannot
suited.
do that. Steal other
That's a
people's cattle,
compliment, so feel free to
you know,
smile. It's
poach,
a bunch of bastards in
do whatever you
Blackwater, so
can.
it is. Bullies who annoy
would
a
also
lot of
give you a
folk.
chance to be able
They
to
killed
sell
an
off
acquaintance of
horses and
mine,
whatnot
so
as well.
vengeance
A
must be
feature we
sought.
were promised
And
oh so
you're
long
the
ago and
seeker.
never got.
On my behalf.
So
He's a
yeah,
nice fella, Scottish lad he was.
there's a fair
Left
few
a
things.
widow and two wee
Could be
kiddies he
decent.
did. Yeah.
But I'm not done yet.
Real
No.
shame.
There's a couple more that I've still got in my mind as well. That being ornithology. Because for some reason, during the naturalist's little boon, that was ignored. Now ornithology would be a little bit of a different take and would require a bit of a more high intellectually useful spin. I butchered that sentence so horribly because I was trying to think about where the hell I need to go and what I need to do. Let me do that again. A more high intellect than this game is worth. Because this game, let's face it, it caters to the masses. And I know the masses in this game. They are 12-year-olds with no brains and a gun in their hand in a virtual environment. They'll just shoot you because they can. Now, I'm not saying that's the entirety of the community, but let's face it, we've all been there, we've all seen them. Now, there's a big RP community, and I think this would be a good role for them. Because you would actually go watching for birds, camping out in the wilderness, sighting them, and sketching them. Making use of keeping an eye on bird habitats, occasionally getting into some gunfights to stop poachers, and getting yourself, well, a few neat little rewards along the way. Possibly a couple of birds' eggs and stuff like that if you wanted to be a little bit more aggressive and, you know, dive into the collector role a little. But hey, considering that the trader role and the moonshiner role got heavily intertwined, as did the collectibles into the moonshiner role, I can't really say that a little bit of crossover here and there would be beyond that for the ornithologist. Not to mention that you could probably use the feathers to give to someone who is an avid collector or something and keep collections of feathers, plumes and other things, in exchange perhaps for some rather rare and ostentatious garments. You never know, could be useful. And then finally, a role that I would love to have in this game to bring some meaning back to the fishing minigame. Because it's a good minigame, it has a lot of promise. It does a lot of good things, it does a lot of things right. Now there's not much I can really fault about the fishing minigame, aside from its overabundantly huge lack of reward, other than selling your fish to the butcher to earn money. And fair enough, hunting is the same. It is. But hunting you can do organically. Fishing you go to do. I think this is where fishing may need a role to be able to be more meta, to be able to get back into the game in a more consistent way, and to generally be something that people consider beyond I need to grind for health, so let me do this. You know what I mean? It actually gives it a bit of a fleshed out existence. Sorry, my big old friend. Believe me, I took no pleasure in waiting for that. However, it did give me a decent piece to use. I mean, failing that, you want to bring in a hunter's role that encompasses all animals, make it a professional role you can actually use. Though how you would do so, I don't know. Because Naturalist already brought in legendary animals. Yeah, it's a bit of a difficult one bringing in Hunter in general, but bringing in fishing, where you would be able to, you know, identify habitats, identify fish, identify the best places to actually start fishing, and possibly even, you know, catch a few legendary fish. There's a lot you could do. Besides, it's just another activity that the community would get to enjoy more than anything. Not exactly something that would be difficult, is it?
No, that's bad.
Sorry, lads. But yeah, those are the roles that I think would be potentially good for the game. There may be others, but I think that helping the natives in a miniature quest line or alternative role would be good. Fishing, maybe hunting, possibly just making it into trapping so you can actually create better traps with your baits would be good. Bringing in just some alternative avenues. Banditry. Making it a little bit more open world, giving you a place to sell stolen wagons to Seamus, giving you a few other things that maybe the game had missed that the single player had. You know, you don't need to intertwine them, but not having some features the single player had that could easily be used in multiplayer seems like a waste. So, yeah. There's plenty to do, and a few that could even make use of the morality system. Like Rancher. You make that either good or an evil thing, then yeah, it can easily bring about some pretty decent stuff. That kill was so damn cool. It's like, oh yeah, gun bottom, point blank, bang, right in the chin. That wasn't even an execution, by the way. I manually pulled the trigger for that. That's what made me so proud of that kill. Anyway, that pretty much wraps it up in terms of the hashtag Save Red Dead Online talk that I've had. Far be it from me to be overly concise with all this stuff, because I do like to ramble. It's kind of what I do. I don't stay on topic very easily, particularly when I'm not scripted. If I was scripted, maybe I'd do a little bit better, but I'm not. And scripting isn't my strong suit. Then again,
Okay. No
not
need for
much
guns here,
is.
friend.
But, yeah. In terms of good old Dyspraxia's effects that I discussed earlier on, that also does impact concentration and ability to focus on tasks. Thankfully, when I'm at work, I have my goals clearly set out. With YouTube, it's a little bit more freeform, so I'm a bit more, not lost off, but a bit more left to my own devices with what I need to do. And that isn't always the best for me. You know?
Time we dropped you for good.
I believe I have my targets all down and done. Especially now. Last target. Let's go. But yeah, leave me a comment in the video. Let me know what you think. Maybe if any of the roles I've discussed. Sorry. Blocked nose and I'm ending up swallowing crap that I don't need. It's not fun. Hang on. Excuse me. Garbage bloody crap in my nose that's getting in the way. Anywho, yeah. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's happening. Let me know if you think anything I've discussed here could potentially be useful. And, yeah. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully when Red Dead's a little bit more alive and kicking than he is. Or than the game is right now. Of course. And he's dead. No? Alive? Wow, okay, sure. That's actually not bad. Could be worse. Could be better. At any rate. Just gotta get this thing back here. Ah, man.
Best meat in town right here. Welcome back, man. I'm glad you're here.
$5. 90 cents. 60 cents. 90.
See a fair amount of that lately.
Beef too, huh?
Seems like every other fella tries to sell me one of these.
Did I accidentally sell my venison? Oh.
See a fair amount
So
of
it's
that
just
lately.
what? Venison, beef, and that's it? Fine.
Come back.
Don't sell your venison and beef at the vendors, ladies and gentlemen. You'll lose a lot of money now if you do.
Holy shit. Always a pleasure, man. Oh, there.
What do you mean, whoa there? I was in your way. You didn't move. How did you not know to get out of the way of someone who's in a hurry? Ah, well. I think that's where I'll call it for today. See you in the next one.